spilled my coffee. Spilled my coffee all over the place. Bing bong. Push the button. I pushed the button. What's up, nerds? What's up, fellow nerds? Oh my god. How y'all nerds doing? It's Monday. It's Monday here on another show, which we don't even really know what this show is called. What is this show called? Look at this. Oh, I moved the chat. I wasn't trying to move the chat. I was trying to go like this. Oy. Oh, what happened? My god, man. I was trying to move. Can I move this side of this? Oh, no, I can't move the side without. Oh, hold on, guys. I got to push control first. Control. I should make a little chat area over here, and I'm going to do it right now. You know what's weird? It's the beginning of the show, and people will be most distracted by it being the beginning of the show and me not paying attention and highlighting the chat over in the side. Because I think there are a few people that watch this air quote program, air quote program, and they're confused as to why I jump around from topic to topic. Now, there are two reasons why I do that. Number one, I'm a weirdo, and I'm thinking probably about far too many things all at once, and I jump around, you know, because that's the way my brain works, and it's difficult to stay on topic sometimes because I don't have a producer here. There's no producer to keep me from going off the rails, right? I don't have a babysitter, I guess is the way to put it. I don't have a babysitter here telling me like, hey man, you've been talking about axle bearing grease for the last 38 minutes. Nobody wants to hear about axle bearing grease, you know. Nobody wants to hear about that. So stop talking about it. Talk about the fish poops again. Go back and talk about the fish poops. Everyone needed to know about the stringy fish poop and what they were supposed to do about the stringy fish poop. The fish has stringy poop, and they need to know what it is. What are we going to do? My Lord. The recycling is happening outside right now, guys. Oh, my God. Recycling trucks, they're amazing. Have you guys ever seen a trash truck before? Amazing. Amazing feature brought to you by Space Aliens. Anyhow, moving on. Those are the two reasons. My brain is thinking about way too many things, and I get sidetracked very easily, as I was trying to illustrate by saying that the recycling truck was here, right? Anyhow, if you are a member or a patron, the green room is open today. Feel free to call in. I would like to hear your voice. If you have a bright and shiny, happy, or a raspy, smoky voice, I don't care. I'd like to hear your voice. Okay. We have a few pieces of business to get through, it being Monday, and as I occasionally get the comment, nobody wants to hear about my effing family. Regardless of that, we're going to talk about that for a minute. The newest addition to the fam here, Dog McDogface. We don't really know what his name is yet. Why is this? Remove this. We don't need this. Why is that in there? I thought I had a picture of Dog McDogface in here. Oh, Poopy McPoop, poop. I like to say poop a lot at the beginning of the show. Is this it? No, that's not it. We'll highlight that and we'll remove it. We're not talking about that today. What's this? Oh, that's a steel stand. Oh my God, they're amazing. We're not talking about that today. Well, we might. Depends on what the chat says. Anyhow, well, we'll have to re-find the picture because I thought I had it. I thought I had it queued up, but it didn't. All right, this dog right here, Dog McDogface, currently named Charlie Brown. That's the current name. We're trying to see if he likes the name Charlie. If you guys know, our other dog is named Biddy Brown. First name Biddy, which is for a little bit, right? Biddy. Her last name is Brown. Her middle name is Bronwyn. If you guys didn't know, our dog's middle name is Bronwyn, okay? And now you do. So Biddy Brown, and then Vicky was thinking about Charlie, and then his name could be Charlie Brown because they're siblings somehow. They're somehow related now, and so they'll carry each other's last name. That's the thought. This guy so far is doing okay. This guy is a little bitey, a little sketchy. He's a little PTSD. He has nipped the daughter. The daughter moves like a little crazed child does, and at certain points in time, he has not enjoyed that. One of those times happened to be Olivia's fault for wearing hard shoes in the house, which we do not do. We do not wear our shoes in the house here, okay? We don't wear hard shoes in the house. Take your shoes off when you come in. Well, Olivia was wearing some kind of hard shoe and stepped on the dog's leg, which recently had surgery and whatnot. So, yeah, I could see why the dog freaked out and kind of nipped at her. It wasn't a voracious bite. It was a nip. And then the other time, she was running around screaming and jumping around and going all crazy and jumped on the dog. And the dog nipped her that time. So, overall, he does get a little nippy if things get a little crazy. But so far, he's a pretty good dog. He's a little character. He's a little love bug. I think he's got the PTSD going on. And, yeah, but otherwise, we'll see. I think it's been too long to take him back now, right? It would be weird to send him back now. Like, hey, come live here for a couple weeks and then get out of here, right? So, but the dog is a little kooky, and he does pee sometimes in this room. So we have to keep the door closed. Got to keep the doors closed. So he's got some problems. But he's doing better. So that's all good. That dog's doing pretty good. Who? Oh, Rocky's here. Hey, what's up? What's up, Rocky? So that's the dog thing. This last weekend has been a little bit hectic because my mother's husband, dad, has been moved into a different care facility, and they're pretty concerned about how long he's going to live at this point. So they emergency flew back from the Bahamas or wherever they were. They have a boat now. They bought a boat with some of their lifetime savings. Nashaw. Like, I don't know how to spell Nashaw. How do you spell Nashaw? In the Bahamas? Is that Bahamas? Oh, it's Nassau. Oh, that I didn't think it was spelled that way, but now we know that's what it's spelled. Yeah, that's in the Bahamas. Okay, so they flew back, emergency red-eye flight from the Bahamas up to the area. So we've had the grandparents here, and there was a fear of a COVID situation. Olivia played with her friend last week or the week before. I don't know. The weekend before. And my friend got sick, and then it turns out that she had COVID. So there was a bit of a COVID scare. So the grandparents had to redirect themselves to go stay somewhere else, then go over and visit. And then Saturday night they blew into town here, and so it's been a little hectic over the weekend, but that's all good. Show us some of the tanks. Detective Lopez is one of the people that says, I don't want to hear about your family. I'm guessing, right? I would guess. I'd wager a guess. Detective Lopez is one of those people. One of those people that'll start dropping F-bombs and screaming at me in the chat. We know they're not a member because they would be otherwise highlighted, right? Yeah, so they're not. Speaking of members, we were at 93 members last week. We've dropped down to... Let's reload it. It's reloading. 82. We've dropped down to 82 members from last week. So, yeah. But big shout out to Jerry X and John Ward and Coro Works for renewing their memberships. We appreciate it so much. Empty tanks sitting in the dry garage. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, show us the tanks. They're empty in my garage. I've been posting some videos about the updates. I've been recording more video on the work I've been doing to build the new fish room here / studio. So it's going to be kind of a multi-purpose space, but it's coming along. But as you know, when you only get to work a couple hours a week on a project, it does take time, and I do work a full-time job. So I know that there's some people out there that'd be like, "Oh, you got to get it done right now." I'm like, okay, well, cool. Come over and do it. Come over and do it, right? Actually, something that is on a positive note of the fish room there. So I had the 240-gallon aquarium. You guys know it's like 8 feet long. It's an acrylic tank, so it's not super heavy, but it's a very awkward load to like move it around. So normally what I do is I will strap it up on one end to a furniture dolly, right, to use that for the wheels, and then I cruise along with the wheels on the end of this big giant tank. Now, my spouse is concerned for my safety, and I don't blame her, because sometimes I cut my fingers off with saws. It happens. She's concerned for my safety, and she said she saw me moving the 150 out. I was moving the 150, the 150-gallon tank out by myself, and she got mad, and she said, "You got to have somebody help you." Oh my God, look at this! I'm literally getting a call from a telemarketer. Telemarketer, like focus. Telemarketer. It literally says it's a telemarketer. Hello, would you like to buy a monkey?
Hi, this is Gavin Foster. I'm calling with Senior Benefits. How are you today?
Your name's Gavin Foster? They hung up on me. Oh, yeah, good times. I love getting telemarketer calls because I don't really yell at them. Because a lot of times it actually is people. It's super funny. I don't know. The other day, somebody was at a very thick Indian accent was calling me. He said, "I'm going to be your daddy." And after I was like bugging him for being a telemarketer, it was a very interesting phone call. I wish I had recorded it. But the state that I live in is a two-party consent. So I don't even think maybe I can record telemarketers. I don't know. I'd have to look up the law. We'll see. But telemarketers are idiots. So anyhow, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I was talking about moving the aquarium. So Vicky was like, "Dude, you cannot." This is not how she talks, by the way, but this is how I paraphrase how she asked me. She forbade me for moving that 240 on my own. So then I was like, "Oh, okay." So I called up a buddy. I was like, "Hey, can you come help me move this thing? It's like a half an hour, not a big deal." And they were like, "Oh, word. What day?" And I was like, "It could be Saturday, it could be Sunday, it could be Monday." And they're like, "Well, I worked those other days, so I could try to do it on a Saturday." And then they didn't show up the first week, and that went by. And then the next week, they were like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do it." So then I called up a different buddy, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, I could probably come do that." And then I guess their wife or whatever like borrowed their car, so then they didn't have a car, and I wasn't about to go pick them up to go do it. And then another week went by, and then another week went by. I had another person lined up to come help move it. It got ridiculous. But regardless, my mom's husband helped me move it yesterday. The large item blocking the spot where I need to put the drywall on the ground is now clear, and that means we're there. We're just that much closer. We're just that much closer to being able to get the drywall up on the walls out there and move on to mud and tape, and then lights, and then door trim, and then a new door, and a blah blah blah, and a blah 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 blah. There's still a million things to do, but regardless, as those little steps get you closer and closer to finishing a project, I'm getting closer, so that's good. Not new, but I'm an avid viewer. Okay, Detective Lopez, avid viewer. All right, well that's good. Then you probably get the vibe of like, people show up and they're like screaming at me to see fish tanks or whatever, and I'm like, there's a million videos of fish tanks that people could be watching right now if they desperately needed that. Yeah. Have you been jabbed? Yes, I have. I've been jabbed. I've been vaccinated. I've been boosted twice. I caught COVID, and I'm due for another booster. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now in my COVID progression of the last 2.5 years. I caught it once, but I didn't catch it the 3 other times it was in my house, like sleeping next to me. So, So pretty good results so far. I have need to get a booster. The half of my family that got the jab did not get COVID. The half that lied and did not got COVID. Yeah, I mean, thing is, like, vaccines are like condoms, man. You put on a condom, you have sex. There's an off chance that somebody could get pregnant, right? That doesn't devalue the condom, correct? Right. That doesn't mean that condoms are useless, right? Vaccines the same way. It's a prophylactic, right? It's protecting you as best it can, and your chances are much better, far superior than being not. And the outcomes are way better. So, yeah. She's only concerned because she knows you. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Try to pick up a 240 and carry it on my head like a maniac. I almost did get I had this 210-gallon glass aquarium, and me and this dude were moving it. And I got into a really precarious situation with that tank up over my head. And I was like, this could go really badly right now. Luckily, I didn't get decapitated, but it was close. It was something could have happened, and it could have gone wrong. Detective Lopez says to use egg crate when putting heavy rocks in the tank to prevent it from cracking. Yes, actually, I use egg crate quite often. There's a specific kind that I like that is for, it's actually for aquariums. Let me find a link to it. Orders. I know it's in my orders because I'll be able to find it in there. Oh, God, what is it called? Let's see. Let's see if we can find a search term that works. I'll be out here like saying a bunch of search terms, and then people will try to look those up and then be like, I'm getting terrible results just like he did. Crazy. This stuff. This is what I use specifically. This is the specific brand. I've purchased this a few times. Multiple times. Copy. Now, before I post the link in the chat, I'm going to tell you a little something. We here are an Amazon affiliate. And if you click on the links to buy stuff through Amazon, I get a commission. It doesn't change the price. It doesn't charge you extra. It doesn't do anything like that. Essentially what happens is I get the advertising charge. You can go to Amazon through this link and buy whatever you want, as long as you go buy it and then check out before you click some other accidental advertisement, right? But just full disclosure for the Federal Trade Commission, I am an Amazon affiliate, so I will get a commission if you go buy a bunch of crap off of Amazon through that link. I highly recommend you do it because I get commissions for it. Upwards of up to $50 a month total with the whole lots of people that buy stuff through there. So it's a very small commission, but it helps nevertheless. And by the way, you always got to remember, right? every little bit counts to bring down the corporate overlords, right? Right? We take their advertising money and we turn it into content that we want to actually do, right? Right. Someday I'm going to make a movie. And no one's going to watch it probably. But someday I'm going to make a movie. No guarantees of what the content will be. It probably won't be fish tank related, I'll tell you that. So don't get mad at me. It looks like there are a bunch of other egg crate solutions sold on the Amazon through the recommended products related to this item. Now, to be clear, I haven't tried any of the other recommended ones. There may or may not be better versions, but those are the ones that I have specifically ordered and used. They, in fact, did show up at my house. They, in fact, did work. And so, yeah, I'm not associated with the company that makes that egg crate, but just so you know, I did get it, and it did work. So, and I was very happy with what I got. Is it the type they use for marine tanks with the feet? Yeah. But it's kind of cut up and more modular, right? One of the big issues with the actual lighting egg crate is that it's super. I don't know how to describe this. It's like brittle, right? It's brittle. It's dense. When you cut it, little shards go shooting off. It's sort of chaotic. Does it work? Yes. Can you just go over to the hardware store and get it today? Sure. Do you really want to drive to the hardware store and then rifle around in the lighting department to find a thing that's like not exactly correct? Maybe you do. I don't know. That could be your thing. It could be a thing that you're into. I don't know. But I don't like. I have to go to the hardware store all the time. So if something can avoid me making a trip to the hardware store, I will take it. And the overall better performance than versus the egg crate itself, I was happy with. I've been vaccinated and boosted and have yet to catch COVID. I even traveled to other states. Yeah, I traveled to Peru and didn't catch COVID. So, you know. And Peru had the other, what was the COVID that was in Lambda? COVID variant from Peru. Lambda, yeah. Lambda, right? So I didn't even catch that variant, but you know, it is what it is. So some people out there are freaked out by needles. I'm not. Medical procedures, I'm not. I don't want to like opt into them, but they don't freak me out. And I even have a video about using that crate. I don't know where that video is. Building. Let's see. Let's go to content. We'll go to content. We'll go to my own content page, and we'll search across my channel. And we'll write building. I think it's building height. I think is what it was. Oh, that didn't work. What the F? What? Whoa. Okay. That was... Why did it do that? Well, YouTube, YouTube got weird. Oh, so if you click enter on that, show all, and it doesn't show them all. Building Maboo Studios. Huh. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Let's see. Where is that video? Oh, here it is. I found it. Now, here's the real question. Like, where's the share button? Where's the link for it? Oh, this is all new. Oh, there's the video link right there. Okay. Yeah, video link. Here we go. Oh, my God. Just be aware, this is a video link to a video on my YouTube channel. I have to like remind people, like, beware, this is a YouTube video. Oh my God, we have to address the elephant in the room here. Rumbust became a member on the YouTube channel. Oh my God, he's going to reap the benefits. He's going to reap the benefits, the rewards. He's going to feel rewarded. He's going to be a part of the community. He gets access to the Discord. You get a cool name. You get a badge. You get all the jazz, right? You get all the badges. You get all sorts of stuff. And Rumbust gifted a membership to Linda Worth. Welcome to the club. We're up to 84 members today. Okay. We're going up. Recently on the Discord, one of our Discord members was confused and, quote, is there a live stream today on Friday? And my response was, it's Friday. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. But I also said live streams on Mondays now. I'll resume Fridays when we hit 2,000 members. So currently we are only 1,800. Wait, 1,900? How does that how does math work, bros? We're currently 1,916 short, right? So as soon as we get to 2,000, I'll start doing them Fridays. We'll start doing them Friday shows, okay? We'll whoop them up again. We'll conjure them from the depths of our souls, from the deep dark cave where the Friday live streams have been, and we'll just insert them into the internet. We'll insert the Friday live streams right into the internet, into the internet's body, right into the tubes. It'll go through the tubes. It'll go through the tubes, through the transitional tubes, upscale, downscale, all of that stuff. It'll come out of a tube into a Wi-Fi. It'll go into a Wi-Fi into your ear. And boy howdy, it'll be right in your ear. Oh my God, we got to update. We have a problem. Another elephant in the room, boys. We have 5 gifted subs from Skog Shrimp and stuff. So far, the champions of the stream, Rumbust. Rumbust is at 2, and Skog's Shrimp and stuff is at 5. So we have to update this number. As he says, we're 1,911 short. We got to update this number. We should do it methodically and slowly.
84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89.
There we go. We're up to 89, bros. So we're on the path. We're on the path of where we're going. We don't even have 2,000 people watching because nobody shares this out or wants to really imbibe this show. Nobody really wants to imbibe and drink deeply of this show, which is fine. I'm still going to do it because we have a good time around here. Where was the question I saw? I have a completely unrelated, semi-related question. A crow has died in my backyard. What do I do with it to not incur crow wrath? Oh my God, there is something that you're supposed to do here. And I you know what? Hold on, let's look it up. Dead crow in yard. Do I pick it up or not? Because I know you want to get rid of it because the wild birds have an issue. The temptation to examine the bird to determine why it died can be great, but it is important to dispose of the bird quickly and safely to avoid spreading illness of parasites to other creatures. Yes, so that is all what I was about to say. And then, but otherwise, the bird should be carefully disposed right away. So the thing is, if you have a dead bird, you do want to get rid of it pretty quick. But there is a yeah, what was it? Here it is. Yeah. Where is it? Continue reading. Okay, here we go. This is like a longer story. Oh my god. The story went away. Huh. Okay. Let's go back over here. I was trying to think that there was a thing to do, but as far as I know, you just want to like put on gloves and dispose of it quickly because wild birds especially carry a bunch of weird parasites and mites and sometimes fleas and all sorts of little goodies on them wild birds. So you do want to dispose of it quickly. You want just some latex gloves into a bag, dispose of it into the garbage, however you're going to get rid of it. It's a bummer, but dead bird, you got to get rid of it because the implications from the potential spread of disease, especially I have chickens, so I don't want dead birds in my yard, but you don't want dead birds in your yard either, right? So dispose of the bird, and then if you do start to incur the wrath of the crows, this is actually fairly simple. You basically just need to feed them. That's basically what it boils down to. If you put out stuff like meat, if there's protein, if you put out some kind of protein for the birds, they will stop harassing you. It's basically what it boils down to. The birds will harass you because they're mad because they thought that you did something. Like crows can recognize faces. They figured that out. University of Washington did a bunch of studies about that, and it turns out crows can recognize faces. And so they can recognize you if you are perceived by them to be a murderer or whatnot. They will harass you to try and get you out of their area. They don't want you to be around. They'd be screaming and stuff. But if you give them food offerings, they will generally then eventually realize, like, oh, wait a minute, that person just feeds us. It's all good, and they'll calm down. That's kind of the best way to go about it. Which most people will go like, yeah, if I feed them, then they're gonna hang around. And you go like, they're airborne. They can hang around if they want. You're not really gonna deter them from hanging around because they have the power of flight. Yeah, I would just use a shovel when something dies in my yard. Yeah, you can definitely use a shovel, but you do want to bag it up because you don't want potential to pass that parasite on one way or another, like whether it be in the garbage can or whatever. You just want to bag it up and send it along on its way. Preferably, we use those green eco bags that they'll break down in like a couple of years or whatever in the dump. I could go get one, but I can. Oh my God! It's time to share some Amazon links. Eco compostable bags. They're these things. Let's look through my orders.
Where is it?
Where is it? Where's the regular size one?
Huh?
These guys right here. There we go. So these bags are a plant derivative. I believe that they're the corn type. Oh no, these are the paper ones. No, that's not right. We don't want that. No, yeah, this is the right one. Yeah, okay. I was like, paper? Why does it say paper? That's weird. The advertising is weird. But we use these green bags here for stuff like that. Like dead chickens, dead whatever, that kind of crap that happens around here from time to time. We have like a little box of these bags. So then I can just throw them into the garbage and not into the compost. Whereas like a lot of the other dead stuff around here goes up into the compost or gets fed to the chickens. Like if I have dead fish, I just give them to the chickens. Chickens that eat them. Chickens eat them right up, dude. They love dead fish. They love everything. Chickens are trash compactors. Let me paraphrase that, and let me backpedal. I'm going to backpedal on the previous statement. They don't like carrots. What else don't they like? They don't like asparagus, and they don't like What else don't they like? There's a bunch of things that the chickens don't like, but it's a very short list. Just to be clear. Never heard of Corvus curse for dead birds, but dead birds go quickly. Either wildlife or people take them. They do disappear pretty rapidly, but I've ever noticed if I notice a bird laying around dead, I normally get rid of it. Because typically the characters that drag away the dead bird, I don't want them hanging around thinking that there's dead birds here, you know. Foxes, I guess raccoons. No, raccoons don't eat the dead birds. Foxes, coyotes, stuff like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Rats. Oh, we don't want rats. You guys know I have a powerful lust for the removal of the rats. All of the rats in the world. I prefer to just remove them all. I think I'm over it. I don't even know what the benefits the rats bring to the table. As a matter of fact, let's look it up right now. Benefits of rats in the ecosystem. Mice make sense to me. Rats, I don't get. No. Rodents native to the United States play an important role in the health of the grasslands and forests and are a major source of food for the predators, including hawks, fox, bobcats, and even wolves. Okay, I don't need foxes hanging around. I don't need bobcats hanging around, and I don't need wolves hanging around. I don't need those. Because every time I've ever heard like the benefits of a rodent, it's like, oh, it's for their food for other animals. And you're like, huh, okay. You know, I guess they feed wolves. You know, I don't want wolves in my backyard. I got dogs. But, yeah, we don't want that. Rats are smart, they're empathetic, they're affectionate, they love to laugh. Somebody put this in there. Look at this. Look at this. This is an article that somebody put onto the internet. Desktop capture. Smart selection. Because I don't want you looking at my taskbar. My taskbar doesn't say anything weird on it. I just don't want you looking at it. Look at this. Somebody put this in their article on the internet. Rats. They love to laugh. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They're moral. Rats are moral. They balance the ecosystem. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm trusting. I don't know if I'm trusting the validity of this. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. Okay, moving on. Moving on from the rat situation. I laugh with the rats at work all the time. Good times. Yeah, I don't know. I've never laughed with a rat before, I don't think. Alyssa Bentley, great skulls. I just put dead birds under a clay plant pot until decomposed enough. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been around people that they do the skull stuff. They boil it, they remove the everything, they bleach it, all that. I don't know, man. It's just really stinky all up in that. It's just really stinky. That's a really stinky project, and I don't know if it's worth it to just have skulls lying around. What was that? I don't know. Vicky's doing something weird back there. She's banging around. Well, Alyssa, it's better than late night grifting. Late night gifting. Yes, late night gifting is much better than late night grifting. True. Oh my God, did anybody see that? Like Tim Pool's dad posted a video. Ridiculously funny. Okay, let's jump into the topic of the live stream. Now that we're, how far in are we? An hour? Probably 45 minutes. We're 45 minutes in. We should probably get to the topic. And also give a big shout out to Rusty, Frank, and Aubrey for being first to the chat, along with Pauline's, Skog Shrimp, Zipgun, and Steve Bearteach being before we started, and Linda Worth, and Alyssa, and Rumbust. They were all here before the stream even started. Look at that. Rusty says, "Man, I tell you what. Whenever the old guys CSA meetings speak." Okay, I'm trying to read the quote. I'm gonna have to fix the words a little bit so that I can read them out loud. Man, I tell you what. Whenever the old guys at the CAS meetings, which I suppose is like California Aquarium Society or something. I definitely listen. Those guys have forgot more than many people know, and their fish rooms are typically the best you'll see. Now, okay, to kind of handle the topic a little bit here, I wanted to see that first comment and go like, okay, people with a lot of experience, aka older folks, you know, they're 40, they're 50, they're 60, they're 70, they're 80, some of them are 90, have had a lot of experience and generally have a deep well to pull from when giving advice on things that they have some expertise in. What is almost always, unfortunately, applied is that somebody happens to be old, so they must be an expert in everything, right? And that is where things can go completely sideways. At certain points in time in my life, I have a laundry list of specific examples that we could go through. They're all anecdotal, but I'll give you a quick one. I live near Boeing. You know, the guys that make airplanes, right? The guys who build and construct and, you know, they do the riveting and the electrical systems and all of those stuff, all that stuff going on. And I live near there, so I've had a lot of interactions with guys that work at Boeing. They've had a strong presence where I have lived for going close on 100 years now, if not reached 100 years now, right? As you travel around and work in this area, you will often run into a lot of homeowner stuff that was accomplished by those same guys that we trust to assemble airplanes that fly us through the sky, like Greek gods, at 550 miles an hour, whilst drinking a Coca-Cola or whatever it is that you drink on your airplane, right? Flying around through the sky, we trust them to build those airplanes, and these guys don't even have the requisite qualification to figure out how to, you know, fix an outlet in their house or do all this stuff. And yet I have encountered on many occasions remodeling jobs that were done 20 years ago by guys that worked at Boeing, and it's all rotted, fallen apart, improperly constructed, very bad, and a very bad job, that somebody else is having to clean up, right? So, as I like to put it, people with experience in a specific field will often give very good advice that should be taken to heart and should be applied in your own life. Because if somebody can give you beneficial advice without you having to spend your time experiencing the hardships that the other people went through physically in person, that is a beneficial advantage to all of humanity moving forward, right? One of the books that I always recommend that people should read is Diana Wallsted's book, The Wallstad Method, which I probably should have had the link up here. Let me look it up here. Diana Wallstad. Let me make sure I spell her name incorrectly. So this book right here is one that I always recommend to people that are getting into the hobby. They're going, I've got a million questions. I've got a million questions about how things work. This book illustrates all of the things that you would need to know, right? All of the things that you would need to know is in that book with pictures, with scientific explanations, diagrams, flowcharts, all of the stuff that you would need to know in about 100-page book. I don't know exactly how many pages this is. It's a very small book, and it's going to have pretty much all of the basis of the information that you need to operate an aquarium. Now, one of the reasons that I would recommend this book is it is an appeal to authority. I'm basing some of my argumentation on the fact that this person is an actual scientist. Well, I don't know if they're an actual scientist, but actually followed the scientific method, published it in a book, so it's all written down and you could look through it and verify all of the stuff that's done in that book independently. You wouldn't even need someone else to really bring it in, because you could independently do those same case studies that are done in that book. You could do all that stuff on your own and verify whether it to be true or not, right? So oftentimes, what I've noticed in 2023 and the extent of my life, as Alex says, it's glorified auto plant workers. That's right. That is ultimately what it boils down to, is that the Boeing workers are making an appeal to authority that they work for a place that is very specific and very technical application, literally taking people's lives into their hands to fly them through the sky and them not die. They're utilizing that authority to sort of work their way through life, right? And they're using that authority to explain things incorrectly to people that they may or may not know is the truth. And one of the things I've noticed about the older generation is that if they hear something from a perceived authority, they sort of absorb it into their consciousness, and then it is just fact as far as they're concerned. And I unfortunately experienced this many, many times growing up, that the type of aquarium advice that I would get was from people that were like, buy these cheap goldfish, put the cheap goldfish in the aquarium here, the new aquarium, let them be in there until they die. Once they die and stuff, that tank's ready to have the actual fish you want to keep. But then it's like, but what if I want to keep these goldfish? Oh, but these ones will die, so don't worry about that. Detective Lopez says one of the best fish rooms I've seen was Tom Barr's. Yeah, I've been to Tom's house. I don't know that he really like has a fish room. He has a couple of tanks in his house. I don't even know if he has a fish room, but Tom is one of the authorities that I would appeal to if I really have a question. And Tom is sort of the kind of guy who will send me like, oh, it's from this, read this book or check this out, as opposed to just telling me the thing. Oh, okay. I gotta my HVAC guy is messaging me because I'm interested in I gotta get the air done for the fish room. And instead of going with the dehumidifier this time, I'm gonna actually go with a mini split system so I can do heating and cooling in there. Because I need something that is much more consistent on the dehumidifying side and the heating and the cooling, and I'm just trying to I'm trying to get the buddy discount. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get the buddy pricing. Like, where's that buddy pricing at, man? But like Tom is a person that I would generally send an inquiry to of like, hey, what is this thing? And he would go, oh, hey, check this out, check that out. Rarely do I ever get like just the, turn your CO2 up, right? Rarely do I ever get that type of answer from him. And I think it's because he is an educator himself, right? So he sort of understands the like, oh, if I tell you the answer, you're most likely not going to learn what it is to apply what I told you to do. So that in the future, you're probably just going to come back and ask me the exact same question again. And I've definitely noticed that from managing like large groups of workers and stuff like that. People would regularly come ask me, the same question, once every 2 weeks, right? Oh, how much of this goes in there? Don't you know? No, I don't know. Is there a place that you could go look that up? I guess I could go look it up. Yeah. Why don't you go look it up? Because you asked me the same thing 2 weeks ago, and now you're not retaining the knowledge, right? So, and I wonder in my own from my own standpoint, I wonder how much of that has been applied to just how many people over the last 50, 60 years, 5, 6, 7 decades, right? I'm generally not interacting with many people that are in the 8 and 9 decades, right? But I do interact with like my grandma, who's in her ninth decade. And to be brutally honest with you, oftentimes like I'll be talking with my grandmother, who is 90 something. She's very smart. She's very with it still, very sharp, knows what's going on. But oftentimes she has what I would consider to be like a very strange interpretation of the world, because oftentimes she's just kind of being told what is going on in the world. Like you turn on the news, that must be what's happening because the news said that's what's happening. Well, most everything nowadays you got to take it with a level of skepticism and a grain of salt, because what are these people selling you? What are they selling you on and whatnot? And truth be told, like even myself, like I am trying to sell you on something. I'm trying to sell you on the fact that like I'm not a ridiculous idiot. I'm not a total moron buffoon. I'm trying to get people to sponsor my channel so that I could make content, as opposed to like drilling concrete and putting wires and pulling wires and drilling wood and getting sawdust in my eye and cutting my fingers off and doing all that kind of crap. So like even myself is like, I'm trying to sell you something. Now I try to be as honest as I can. There are certain times where I don't know something. It's like, let's just go look it up and let's see kind of what the consensus is or whatever. Because that's just the kind of person I am, right? Like that's the foundation of like my personality and whatnot. But I often wonder especially with people like my grandmother, is that, there was a man who was wearing a tie and he was talking like this. He was saying the things that he was saying with his mouth and followed them up with a takeaway to the next segment, right? And as long as they're sort of doing that, it's sort of like a hypnosis. There's like almost this hypnosis that befalls them of like what they just said is legit, 100%, right? Detective Lopez says most of these aquarium channels on YouTube are one big commercial. Well, that's the unfortunate thing, is that like the YouTube enterprise itself, this is an advertising platform, right? I think a lot of people are confused as to what YouTube is. YouTube is 100% an advertising platform. This is a platform that sells advertising, right? They sell advertising time to companies that want their advertising to get out there. That's where the revenue comes from. The other parts of the revenue comes from their share of super chat money, their share of membership money, their share of what else? There's like one other thing I'm forgetting, but the revenue all comes from that. And for the entirety of YouTube, the lion's share of the money coming in is from selling ads. And a lot of people think YouTube is some kind of public service or something. It's not. It's a private company in which they sell advertising space on, and so that means that this is an advertising platform. That's what this platform is for. So it's unfortunate. Like, I live in the United States. The United States is pretty much dictated by capitalism, and I have bills to pay. And so the idea of me being able to just make content all of the time when I also have to work, I have a kid, I have a commute, I have to sleep, I have to do all this stuff. I would love to be spending my 5-day work week just making videos about stuff that I think is super interesting. I tried to do that a few years ago. As you guys know, I was doing the YouTube stuff full time. If you go back, you can look and go like, wow, this guy was making a lot of videos back then about stuff. Yep, I certainly was. I tried to do it, and I never got popular enough to go like, I'm going to quit my day job and keep doing this, right? And I'm not an independently wealthy guy. I don't have a bunch of money in the bank. I'm a straight-up blue-collar dude who's living paycheck to paycheck for decades. I've managed to accrue a little bit of, home ownership, that kind of stuff. But I'm not somebody who, I don't, I didn't inherit a family business. I didn't inherit an income. I didn't inherit a bunch of money or anything like that. So, it hasn't been, it's a dream that I continue to work on. I continue to work on filming and, learning how to edit, learning how to like record things, like writing and all of that kind of stuff. I continue to work on it like pretty much every day to some little bit, but I've never been able to dedicate my full time to it and be out from under the fear of like eviction or whatever, Skog says those were the days, and just before that it was streams at random times a day, random times daily. That's right. If you guys remember, I was doing daily streams in an attempt to try and grow. I was trying to grow, and I was trying to grow the channel to a point where I'd be able to do this stuff full time and be able to go around and be doing documenting other people's fish rooms and stuff like that. That's really like where I want to be putting a lot of my energy. Like building the studio in my garage only benefits that. It only benefits like being able to make content, being able to film stuff and do all of those things. Also it's a benefit to me and my family. Like obviously if I have a remodeled space in my house, like that's a benefit to the property, right? But that's the whole reason I'm doing it, right? The whole reason I'm doing it is have a workspace that's not my daughter's playroom, right? The new house we moved to here was a significant investment. It was a significant investment to move up here because I really had to, we really had to sort of make the decision. We had to make the active decision about, my career and Vicky's career and like how we could progress them both, right? And a big part of them was moving like 75 miles north from where we lived down in Tacoma. It has been a significant investment of time and money to move up here. But I have been I work full time, as I mentioned. I'm constantly working on projects. As you guys know, I work for the Aquarium Co-op. I do all the building and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I've just been continuing to do all of the stuff that I can do in the best, like, scheduled allotment that I could conjure up in my tiny brain, right? I take my tiny brain and I think about, like, what step can I do next? What's the thing that I can do next? How do I figure out how to do that the best way possible, and how can I like get it done in the amount of time I have, and then like move forward, right? And so that's just, these are all the things that I've been trying to do, and it's been a lot. It's been significant. Gardaki's Playground says make videos until they are good. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, we got 5 more gifted subs from Aubrey. That might put us over last week. That might put us over where we were at last week, right? So we were at 89. Now we're at 90, right? Then that puts us at 91. Oh, 999. Okay, well, hold on. Let's fix this. 91, 92, 93, 94. Oh my God, we're at 94. I think we're at 94. I think we're at 94 now. Right? I think that's correct. When you add 4 to 89, you go up to 94. Let's see. Rusty is a new member. Anthony Manning. Why Are We Always Yelling? Frank Martinez and Linda Worth and James N. Yeah. Why Are We Always Yelling got super mad at me last week or the week before. I don't know. But either way. Alyssa says, I got into FishTube by trying to find specific information about bristlenoses. I kept watching, trying to find out things. Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing is that, like, I only ever got into doing YouTube in the first place was because I was on forums, right? So I was always, like, trying to help people out on forums, like the written forums, you know? It's like the Reddit of the past, right? It's the Reddit of the past. And the thing was, as I kept getting grief from people, like, I'm not going to quote anybody, but just the basic of, like, we don't know who you are, who cares, shut up, you're an idiot, that kind of stuff, right? And you're like, okay. So the first video that I made for the fish content stuff is the worst thing you've ever seen. And it's literally just me silently walking around with like an iPod video. I don't know. It was like an iPod, I think. And I filmed it. And then people were like, oh, that's rad. Hey, film something else. And I was like, well, I never really thought like fish content would be a thing that anybody would even like request to be a thing. Because when I was a kid, we were always making sketch comedy. Like my dream, if you go and look up MTV's The State. MTV's The State. There's a lot of famous comedians. All of the Reno 911 people came from The State on MTV. I don't know if you can find episodes of it or whatever, but it's like a funnier version of Saturday Night Live, basically, right? Bunch of sketches. Everybody gets the laughs. Everybody gets the giggles. Everybody gets the giggle pants, right? The idea was to make a show like that. So we were always making like goofy clip stuff with like VHS recorders and crap like that, right? So we always made like goofy sketches and stuff. No one ever, I never even thought like, oh wow, I should make stuff about fish tanks. I bet you people that like fish tanks are confused and need help or whatever, right? So I started making that stuff, and that's just kind of where we've been at for the last, 12 years or whatever the hell it is now. It's been like way too long. From the average investment, like a person that was to talk about investing or whatever, they would say 12 years is too long. You should stop investing in that. But I frankly don't care about what investors say. I'm trying to live. I'm trying to live the life I want to live. Right. Just added a large piece of driftwood into my Fluval Flex 15. Apparently now I have black water tank. You will for, yeah. So if you've released a lot of tannins into your tank over time and water changes and stuff, that will all slowly work its way out. Oftentimes, I don't personally do this, and I have done it in the past, just to be clear. I don't personally pre-soak my wood or boil it or any of that kind of crap. I don't do that anymore because, frankly, I sort of like tannins because you're going to be sort of existing in a different aquarium for a while until it eventually comes clear. And tannins are 99% of the time healthier for the fish, the shrimp, everybody that's in there. Everybody that's in there generally likes tannins in the water. There are obviously some specific instances where it's not great, but generally speaking, pretty good to go. Oh my God, I'm getting work emails. Work emails are coming in. Oh my God, I got 900 messages. Okay. The phone's still going. It's still getting messages. Okay. So my phone's getting messages like crazy. I think 20 messages just came in. Yeah, what the hell was I talking about? I forgot. I got distracted. Was I talking about the driftwood? Yeah. Yeah, I don't normally like pre-soak my wood or anything like that anymore. Mainly because of the fact that the tannins are pretty good, and they'll slowly clear up over time as you do water changes every week. And yeah, I wouldn't be stressed about it. So it's not something that I would even really like worry that much about, because eventually it will. It eventually will get to that. If you're wanting it to be clear, it'll eventually get there. Detective Lopez says, I remember the video you made collecting driftwood. Yeah, I collected manzanita with Tom Barr. Not a great video. Not a great video. Not a bad video either. Controversial because people were just raging about how we were illegally doing manzanita and everything. And it's like, okay, I guess you don't realize who we're collecting it with. I think was the biggest takeaway is that I don't think most of the commenters knew who we were collecting with. And so their criticism was that we were doing it illegally or wrong in some way. And it was like, yeah, but that's the expert right there that we're with. And admittedly, from a video standpoint, we probably didn't do an amazing job of like highlighting who Tom was, right? Because Tom is the expert in that stuff, right? So in the video, it probably doesn't do that. I think the assumption is that like we assumed people would know who Tom was, and that was probably the wrong assumption, right? That was the wrong assumption to make. And hindsight being 2020, I think I would make a video of like, who the F is this Tom Barr character first, and then do the collecting video, because then I could have just referred people to the, here's who this guy is, this is what's going on, this is what we're doing, right? And whatnot. Detective Lopez says it's legal to collect 50 pounds a day in California. So I don't know all of the laws about what's going on in California, right? We were on a specific plot of land that I can't even tell you where the F we were. We were on a specific plot of land that actually had the permits, the business license, the ecological survey, the blah, 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 all of that crap. Tom had long since already done all that stuff. So this is one of the places that he was allowed to just go collect. You know, I'm trying to speak generally because I don't know the specifics. But he's the guy that has all the ducks in a row, right? I mean, he's shipping out pallets and pallets of manzanita to businesses all around the United States. So it's, you know what I mean? It's not like he's just some random dude who's just duding around and stealing manzanita or whatever, right? Poaching it, I guess. First time I saw Corvus, it was an aquarium co-op video called I Like This Aquarium Shop More Than My Own. And it was an expose on Justin Howe and Oceans Aquariums. That video made me want planted tanks. That is a cool store, I will admit, 100%. That is a cool store. It is in an unfortunate location, I will tell you that. And to be clear, it's not because it's in San Francisco and in San Francisco is a dump or whatever. It's in a really hard part of San Francisco. Just think like the worst part of a big city. That's where Oceans Aquarium is, right? Like it's like, did I just hear a gunshot? Oh man! Oh, who's that guy? Who's that? What was that? You know, it's that kind of spot where it's at. But they've been there for a really long time. Beautiful store, great owners. Definitely appreciate anytime I get to go there and check stuff out. I rarely have I ever been a somebody who's purchasing anything, though. The couple times that I've been there, I think I've been there. I don't want to say I've been there 3 times because that's probably wrong, but I've been there twice. Once with the co-op and once not. But it's in a real tough part of town. It's in the Tenderloin. I think it's in the Tenderloin district, right? I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to look up the address or even know really what I was looking at. I've been to San Francisco a bunch of times. But it's like a dead space in my mind. I have no real reason to really remember any of it all that much, like any of the roads or any of the areas or any of that kind of crap. I can tell you specific places I've been to, like I've been down to the pier and all that, and I've been to Alcatraz a couple of times, and Vicky and I went to Alcatraz last time we were down there, and it's pretty fun to just go check out this old prison, which should be depressing, but it's actually kind of fun. So hey Corvus, your sump video with Corey to help complete my own plywood sump build, good video. Yeah, we made that video sort of just as we're making a sump for this big aquarium, so we should probably make a video about it and just sort of talk about like what's up and what we're doing and what's happening, and yeah. So yeah, I'm glad it was helpful. I guess I was trying to think of like, what else do I say? Hey, Carson is here. Hey, what's up, Carson? Good to see you. Wonder what Carson's doing. We should try to get together with Carson next weekend or something. top bright orange and belly is way too cool. I found him a buddy because they need a buddy. Who'd you get? Feeder goldfish are cool. It's actually a really big reason why I decided to work at my local fish store. That way I get paid to talk about fish all day. Downside is now I have a tank with 2 feeder goldfish in it. Yeah. Do you have any tanks set up right now, or is everything at Corey's? So I gave away most of my fish when I moved. Alyssa has Puffy, who's my Shut It NI puffer, which I say wrong every time. The Congo spotted puffer. Alyssa has been super gracious in babysitting Puffy for way too long, admittedly, but I'm so appreciative of her taking care of him. And hopefully I'll have a tank for him sometime sooner than later. And so we've got that, right? We got that going. So we've got that currently going at Alyssa's. And then all of my plants are up at Corey's. And I have no idea where my plants are up at Corey's, but all my plants were up there. And then I don't know what he's doing. He's been breaking down totes and doing stuff up there. But I haven't been up there in a while, so I should probably go up there and find out what's going on. I was going to borrow a propane heater from him, so I was going to go up there and check on it, but then the weather got a little bit warmer, and I didn't really need it. So I said ixnay on the driving up there, because it takes time to drive up there and then be chit-chatting and then get the heater and then drive back down. Yeah, it was gonna take time, and I didn't know how much time that was possibly going to take. Skunk Shrimp and stuff, thank you so much for the gifted membership from Cheryl. Oh, man, yeah. Dude, we appreciate it. We appreciate it big time. You know, and people were like, earlier in the year, I think people were like, well, I don't understand about the gifted memberships and whatnot. It's because, like, I sort of directed people away from super chatting because... Like, a super chat's great, and I appreciate it. Like, everyone appreciates getting a tip while you're at work, right? But I feel like the gifted membership helps grow some of the fan base of the channel, of, like, reminding people that, like, oh, hey, this is a channel you were subscribed to. Maybe you haven't watched it in a long time. You got a gifted membership for a month. Hey, maybe come back and see what's happening around these neck of the woods. And I normally... remind them that if they're replay team 6, they better leave a comment in the chat. But I've been forgetting to do that at the beginning of the show, and if I forget to do it at the beginning of the show, that means that no one's gonna do it when I say later in the show, like I did just now. Yeah, DIY Aqua Lounge. Yeah, I'm actually I should be building a plywood sump this week, I think, as part of the store build. I don't know. I'd have to look at my scheduling and see what's going on with that. With that, realistically, we'll see. I'll have to look at my schedule. But yeah, I know that Corey wanted to do a video on the plywood sump build, but waiting for that means it's just never going to get done. So I'm just going to do it. And I don't know. I probably won't make a video about it because sort of a point of conflict is like making a video at work, right? That, it's not the greatest thing to be doing another job while you're at work doing your job, right? So as far as like the content from the store build, most of it is I just stick up a camera and turn on the time lapse, and then I forget that it was turned on. So it just eventually runs out of batteries, But there's a bunch of time lapse content that whoever edits now the videos for Aquarium Co-op can use. Carson says, which tank is that for? It's for the ponds and the beta tanks and stuff to just drain into the sump and then push out to the drains in the back of the building. So it's basically just like a holding sump, They don't want me to cut into the ground, basically. Gardaki's Playground says, I live in Chicago. Little scares me anymore. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I've ever been scared going to the Ocean's Aquarium, but it is in a part of town that has a tendency to freak people out. But I would also, I would also just say, like, you just want to be aware of what's going on around you when you're in areas like that. Like, just pay attention. Don't do goofy stuff. Just be paying attention. Be cognizant of what's going on. Don't be texting on your phone and wandering into somebody who might not be in a good mood that day, I guess would be a good way to put it. But yeah, in those types of areas, you just want to be paying attention to what you're doing. You don't want to be doing stupid stuff to call yourself out in order to engage in a way that you don't want to be engaging, right? Have you been able to go to Pisces Aquatics in Eugene lately? I have not been down to Eugene. One of the big issues with that is just the drive time. It takes a long time to drive down there. It is a big endeavor. So I have a video that I shot previous to them getting the store and opening the store. And then I wanted to shoot the follow-up of now that the store was open, right? Because the video that I have was like them talking about how their dream was to own a store. And since then, they've opened a store. So my plan was to go down last summer and go down and film like the other half of that video. But with the moving and all of this stuff, like I just could not find a solid weekend to like just drive down, go there and do that. I know that like Mike from Aqua Pros has done some videos with them. So like there's some content that you could probably check out. Definitely recommend going down there to check out their store. And Eugene is a lovely town. It's a great town to visit. So I would love to do it again. It's a matter of timing. That's really what it boils down to. Because like, you know, a good example is like this last weekend. Well, the grandma and grandpa flew in. We had to deal with that. I got Olivia here. We got Vicky here. I know that for the average person, like Vicky having breast cancer last year was not a big deal. Like for the average person, just like everyone else that's just wandering around having a life, Vicky having breast cancer means nothing to you realistically, right? Like I'm sure you empathize and you go like, oh, that is sad, right? Like it doesn't affect you day to day whatsoever. So like I get that the average person is like, just go do the thing, you know? And it's like, well, when I could be doing the thing is when I'm at work or I'm at home helping out, like making dinner, doing bath time, putting Olivia to bed, reading stories, you know, all the stuff you got to do with a kid, man. Like there's a lot that goes into that. And like my spouse had breast cancer. She had surgery. She had treatment. She still has hormone treatment now. So it's like, it's kind of like a weird thing to just be like, well, I'm leaving for a weekend so I can go film a fish video that we have a proven track record is probably only going to make like $30 or $40, and I'm going to spend, you know, $500, $600 to drive down there and back. You know, stay in a hotel room for a night. You know, gas. I mean, gas ain't cheap, right? And I think it's probably, I don't know how far Eugene is from here. Let's see. Eugene, Oregon. Maps. We got to go to maps. We got to go to maps. Google Maps. What? Why is it not doing it? It's not doing it. The Google Maps is not doing it right. Here we go. Let's try this Google Maps. From here. I want to drive there. What the hell's going on with Google Maps right now, man? I want to drive there, man. From here to there. Oh my God, where's the drive button on Google Maps? Print? Location? What? 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 Oh my God. There's like a drive button on here somewhere, and I, for some reason, am not seeing it. Where's the Google Maps? Google Maps. We'll go there. We'll just go like this. And I want to drive from here. Show me the drive time. Okay, man. Okay. 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 I'm just gonna be fighting with Google Maps. Okay. Okay. Where, somebody explain to me where the drive button is on here. There's got to be like a. Why is this weird? Why is this weird? When did this get weird? To Eugene, I just want. Okay, fucking. I'm gonna get frustrated. I'm having a frustrating day today. I didn't even mention it earlier. I was basically out in the garage thinking I just want to. I just want to karate chop something real bad. From here. I want to drive there, you stupid. Okay. 300 miles. There. Fine. We figured it out. We're an idiot. I'm a dumb guy, and I'm been a little bit frustrated today. Probably because I'm tired. Uh-oh. Somebody... Rusty retracted a message, but I've saved it over here. It's my buddy's shop. I want to make it out there. Is that the one that you deleted? You deleted that one, man. Why did you delete that? Why? Whoa. Needless to say, I am trying to do some work. This morning, I had 2 hours set aside to do some work on the project, and I could not find the staple gun anywhere. I looked through everywhere. I looked everywhere, and I basically just wanted to kick a hole through the wall. I was losing my cool. I was hungry. I didn't eat any breakfast. I was losing my cool, so I went and ate a turkey sandwich to just calm the F down. Because I realized I was... Do you guys... let me get my text. Here we go. This right here. H period A period L T. Oh, we need a period there. Period T period. I was saying that nice and slow so everybody can hear me say it nice and slow. For some reason, the window is not big enough to handle. Where did it go? Oh my God. Add source. Text. Okay, we're going to have to do it again. That's how you get frustrated. Oh, you have to... Okay. Okay, we hit okay. Now we bring it up here. We got to make the window bigger. Which means we have to hold down Control and make the window bigger. Why is it not getting bigger? Welcome to my frustration. Get bigger. There it is. There it is. Okay. Should we make it a color? What color should we make it? Right? This shit's driving me nuts. Red. Where's red? Do we not have red? Is red not an option? This is where I just punch this computer and go do something else. Red? Where's red? Is that the best red that we got? So I guess this is the best red that we got. I guess this is the best red that we can do today. You know what I mean? Anyhow, what this stands for is hungry, angry, lonely, tired. That's what this stands for. Are you hungry? Are you angry? Are you lonely? Are you tired? These 4 things can be amended from your personal attitude. The thing that is happening right now, whilst you are acting like I was earlier today, like a total piss baby. I was being a piss baby, I'll admit it. I was being pissy in my pants. I didn't actually pee my pants, but you understand what I'm saying? I was being... whatever. You understand. You get what I'm saying. Now, these 4 things, these 4 items can be addressed by human beings. If you are hungry, eat some food. If you are angry, you got to calm the F down. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Calm yourself, stupid, is what I said. That's what I said to myself. I said, calm yourself, stupid dummy. And I did. Then, are you lonely? You could engage with some people. Are you tired? You could take a nap. You could go to bed. You could do whatever. These things can be addressed by humans, is what I'm saying. That's the whole point. I realized I was hungry and tired, and I was angry. I was not lonely, but I was 3 of them. So I took my hangry ass, and I went and ate a turkey sandwich. And, yeah, I was starting to get hangry. I was losing my cool. I couldn't find the staple gun. I still can't find the staple gun. I have no idea where it is. I've succumbed to the fact that I'm going to have to drive up to the store and buy another $40 staple gun and just suck it up, because the time that it will take to find the mystery stapler versus the productivity of using a hand stapler is worth $40 to me. So I'm going to go pick one up. Even though I don't want to, I am just accepting of the fact that wherever mine went, it's not in any tote. It's not in any tool bag. It's not in my toolbox. It's not in my tool totes. It's not in my tool bags. It's not in my tool compartment containers. It's not in anything. I've looked through them all. I literally, those big giant totes I have, I was taking those, I was turning them upside down and dumping them out on the ground and going through every single thing in there, putting them back in and putting it on the shelf. And there's something like, let's see, 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. Each shelf holds 4 of them. There are 4 shelves on each one, so 32 of those. Mind-bendingly stupid nonsense with one guy just screaming in every once in a while, dropping F-bombs, right? Every once in a while dropping a loud F-bomb and just being frustrated, right? So that's a reality that we all have to deal with sometimes on a Monday, and that's why I would admit that I'm so kind of grumpy. Lived in Eugene for 2 years in the early 90s, a nice place, worked for the census, and went to UO. Go Ducks. Oh. Yeah, the weird thing is that, like, Eugene, Eugene, the times that I've been there, which is probably quite a few times, is a city that has a vibe like, yeah, I could move here, yeah, I probably would go with that. So the staple gun that I'm looking for, it's a pneumatic one. It does regular staples. It does the regular staple gun staples, like the T50s, right? And it runs off my air compressor and a hose. And you're all, chirk, 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 chirk. You can do staples that fast. And I need it to do some insulation stuff, and I could not find it. I don't know where it is. And even Vicky was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. We have one of those. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that we have one. I was all kind of grumpy. I was grumpy to her, but she knew that I was being grumpy, and she did not take it personally that I was just being grouchy. So it was okay. Nobody's in dog houses or whatever you want to call it. But speaking of that, that means that I have to drive up to the Home Depot and get that. So we're gonna cut it short here a little bit at the hour and 30 mark today. I would love to do another live stream this week. I don't know when I would be able to do it, but it would be radical if I could do another one. Another one bites the dust. Copyright claims. Carson says it's with the Christmas the Christmas decorations. It's not. I looked, and it's not. So I wish it was. But I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Skogs for donating. Where's my viewer activity? Does it show up on there? Oh, it does. Aubrey donated 5 gifted memberships, and that is extraordinarily generous. Skog Shrimp and Stuff donated 5 gifted memberships, which is super generous. I appreciate it. Rumbust became a member himself and gifted a membership, which is extremely generous, and I 100% appreciate that, like up and down, left and right, all around. every once in a while, I do mention on the live stream that, like, I have aspirations of making stuff, and I keep working on making stuff, and I understand for a lot of people out there, it has been a long time, and it's frustrating to them that it's like, I just want you to make a fish video. I just want you to make the fish video and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I'm juggling a lot, and the memberships definitely does inspire me to be able to, like, take a breath and go, like, yeah, all right. There is something here, right? There's something here. There's something here more than just a desperate person wanting to do a thing and just feeling like all alone and all that stuff. Like, it just does kind of make that wash away, that I don't have to sit here and go, like, am I the only one? Am I the only one? Like, it can't be possible, because there's like 500 people who have supported this channel, maybe 1,000 people. I don't even know what the number is. That there's at least like 1,000 people that have supported this channel in one way or another, and at least that's easy for me to go, like, I'm not alone. And I might be frustrated, and I might be tired, and I might be, like, feeling disenchanted and depressed, or whatever you want to call it. But it's a reminder that, like, it's not only me that wants to do this thing, right? So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys understand that. I would, to be honest with you, I would love to be able to be just, like, streaming 3 hours a day, making content, reviewing stuff, doing things, and, like, recording videos and making videos and have an editor help me and that kind of stuff. Like, I would love to just be doing that. But right now, we're working with what we got, which means I got to go to the hardware store, burn $40 on a staple gun that I should have a staple gun somewhere. But that's irrelevant, because the productivity is going to outweigh the $40, right? That's going to outweigh the $40. So I'm just going to spend the $40, throw it on the credit card, and get the installation rolling, and get it done. So we're gonna keep on keeping on, bros. All right. There's music or something. I don't know. Button pushing.